I've been really enjoying the word coming from Fred again lately. His albums, his Boiler Room set.
Introducing Fred again for Boiler Room!
And I felt inspired to challenge myself to create my own interpretation from what I've been experiencing as a listener. So, what characterizes the Fred Again experience is that his songs often use examples of relatable real-life situations that are translated into these super danceable, euphoric, and almost melancholic musical pieces that just feel magical to us as listeners.
Do you know what I mean?
Don't stop. Keep going.
So I wanted our song to give listeners that same relatable and magical experience. So here's what I did. I went to Splice looking for inspiration when I stumbled upon this incredible sample.
I can't get you off of my mind. I can't get you off of my mind.
So when I heard this, I just knew we had to use this as the anchor of our song. It's conversational, it's catchy, and it's relatable as it builds on the idea of not being able to get someone out of your mind, which is something we've probably all experienced before. The vocal sample is a bit slow though, and could also sound a bit more lo-fi bedroom-ish in terms of tone, so I stretched it to make it shorter and faster. And then I used FabFilter One's Stretch Pro function to pitch the vocal up by 200 cents, while shifting its formant down by 200 cents, which gives the impression that our vocal is being pitched down, while it is in fact being pitched up.
I can't get you off of my mind.
To then give it a more atmospheric feel, I'm setting the vocal to a reverb channel.
I can't get you.
And I'm adding these city sounds in the background to create that typical Fred Again real-life vibe. Now, a great vocal needs great chords to support it. So I loaded up a piano sample, I started playing some chords on my MIDI keyboard, and I ended up with the following chords. Now let's go back a few steps to see what these chords look and sound like in their most simple form. And as you may be able to tell, this sounds quite cheesy and not very emotional, which is why I'm doing two things to improve our chords. Firstly, I'm adding a few notes that are not part of the chord's simple triad notes, such as this A sharp, which adds tension and emotion, this F, which is the seventh of the G minor chord, and by turning our simple D minor chord into this and adding a seventh. And secondly, I'm basically spreading these simple chords over a range of 3 octaves, meaning we're in essence playing the same chords but over different octaves to create a richer and an even more emotional tone.
I can't get you off of my mind. I can't get you off of my mind.
So I found a way to keep things interesting by placing the vocals at specific points throughout the intro, which allows the listener to take in both the vocals and the chords separately before they are played together in the second half of the intro. And I also wanted the intro of the song to feel like we're hearing it from outside the room, which is something Fred did in his song Delilah. And to achieve this, I'm applying some low and high pass filtering as well as a reverb on the master bus, which when automated together yield the distant dreamy sound we're after, which is slowly being opened up as if we're physically entering the room where it's all happening. There's also some sidechaining going on the chords and vocals to create this pumping effect we hear, which prevents things from sounding stale and creates a sense of groove right from the beginning of the song. And this same concept is being applied to this vocal enhancer sample I found within the Kashmir sample pack, which is being sidechained and automated such that it gets louder and louder, indicating that we're gradually going somewhere. You'll also notice that I'm not revealing too much in terms of melodic content in the intro, as I'm gradually introducing the lead melody, more on this later, by automating its filter cutoff envelope, ensuring things remain fresh when we arrive at the chorus. Finally, let's also not forget the drums, as they play a crucial role in adding to the swing coming from the sidechain happening on the other elements. We have this Kashmir breakbeat loop that I chopped up, some hi-hats, and some snares. Now, with the core idea and the intro being established, I was thinking, what do I want to do for the chorus? I really wanted to follow the structure of the chords, but not do something that is being done in a typical or cheesy way. So I came up with this arpeggiated groove that kind of follows the chords, but still has its own melody and rhythm. And to create this groove and a less computerized feel, I'm moving some notes to the right of the grid, creating this swing effect. And I'm also varying the velocity levels of the notes, which are tied to the plugin's filter envelope, meaning the notes with higher velocity levels will sound brighter and louder. And for the lead itself, I'm using the Doris Day preset found in FabFilter One, which is a great and easy tool to create analog sounds. And because I've grown really fond of this plugin, I'm giving away a free copy. All you have to do to have a chance at winning this plugin is let me know in the comments below which artist you'd like me to feature in the future, how to produce like video, and why you feel this artist is so special. I can't wait to hear your suggestions, and I'll be announcing the winner during next video. Now, back to our lead synth, I'm adding several insert effects to improve the presence and body of our sound through instances of Magma BB tubes, 1-up Feather, DS10, and Maserati GDI. And another important effect is this reverb, which creates this washed away atmosphere for our lead to live in. Now, I wanted to make this lead pattern a little more interesting and special, which is why I have these pumping chords played by an instance of Solina in between. Importantly, I'm automating the volume of the chords using Fruity Balance to control the shape of the Solina sound, creating this sweeping and grooving effect. And of course, we also need some bass, for which I'm using two components that both play the same highly simple yet groovy bass line. First, we have a deep sub-bass from Silent One to provide the bottom frequencies one can feel in the club or at a festival. And second, we have a top bass from FL Studio's Boo Bass plugin to simply add some harmonics to our bass and make our overall bass audible on devices like a phone. Now, an integral part to our chorus and to any electronic song really is the kick. And this can be a real deal breaker, as the wrong kick could totally destroy the impact and feel of our chorus. So I needed to find something that was punchy and pumping to help drive the chorus, and I was able to find this sample from the Mistro Sugar Pack on Splice. But I felt like it was missing some punch and click, which is why I added some DS10 for increased audibility of the kick's high end. I'm also bringing it more in the face through R-Bass and Magma BB tubes. And finally, I'm compressing the kick to make it sound less boomy and bloated, which brings the kick to a more compact state and helps it sit in the mix a little better. And to then make sure our chorus is groovy and that it meets the high energy expectations we set at the beginning of this song, we're adding the heads that were introduced in the intro to finish the first part of the chorus. So far you'll notice that things stemmed from a more minimalistic approach with the purpose of keeping things simple. And this is exactly what allows us to add a more intense and emotional section within our chorus, in which we introduce our piano chords, 2 layers to our lead, some additional drum layers for more groove and energy, and some extra emotional atmosphere through this gliding pad from FabFilter One, and this synth atmosphere found on Splice. And through the addition of these new elements, along with the first line of our vocal sample, the arrangement really takes the listener to a new high within the song, as everything kind of comes together at this point, trying to resemble that magical feel many of us experience when listening to Fred's music. Now, after this section, you may wonder if we are led to another high within our chorus, but the answer is no, and here's why. While the heart of our chorus was quite energetic and groovy, I wanted to create a finale to our chorus that would represent something more mellow, and to do this, I carried over the high lead that we introduced within the second section of the chorus, and I'm also reintroducing the vocal.
I can't get you off of my mind.
This time playing in between the pockets of the synth arpeggio and flowing with the rhythm of the bass line.
I think about you all the time.
And the result is a much more melancholic and calm ending to our chorus, from which we could again start building toward a new climax, one that's perhaps even more climactic than the one we just introduced. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to finish this song or not. And with that said, we've reached the end of this week's video. Don't forget to let me know in the comments below which artists you'd like me to feature in a future How to Produce Like video and why, to have a chance of winning the amazing FabFilter One plugin. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm excited to see you again next week, and let's now listen to the final result of today's song.
I can't get you off of my mind. I can't get you off of my mind. I think about you all the time. I can't get you off of my mind. I can't get you off of my mind. I think about you all the time. I think about you all the time.